celebrating 13 years of possibility. Halloran Hilton Hill and Pilot Flying J present Anything is Possible. Today's guest, Krissy DeAlejandro.
Welcome to another edition of Anything is Possible. I'm Halloran Hilton Hill. And do I love what I get to do every week? Yes. Mainly because I believe in you. I believe in the possibility that exists within you. And we have the wonderful opportunity to have great conversations like the one we'll have today, where we can put a spotlight on possibility. And maybe from Krissy's story, you can see your possibility or confirm the possibility that has existed in your life. So, Krissy, welcome to the broadcast. This is Krissy DeAlejandro. Did I get it right?
Perfect. That was perfect. All right.
125 miles from here, 2 hours and 8 minutes, is McMinnville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That's where you were born and raised.
That's right. And you pronounced it correct. It's McMinnville if you're a local, not McMinnville.
Right,
so then
right.
you add the A. So you did perfect. Yeah.
Sitting here looking at you, radiant, you look super successful. If I saw you in a Starbucks, I would think you were on the way to the offices of Goldman Sachs to close a major merger. I mean, you have the patina of visual success. I would never imagine in 100 years that you're the first person in your family to go to college. Is that true?
It is. First person in my family. I think just to even think about college, honestly, and I shared with you earlier, first person on my mother's side of the family, I think, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, to still graduate from high school.
You are the first person on your mother's side to graduate from high school.
I'm almost certain of that. I'm sure someone would crawl the woodworks to tell me that that's not true, but yes.
So count this as well. You are Dr. Krissy DeAlejandro.
I went all the way.
You have a PhD.
I do.
In what?
Political science.
So you've got to walk me, let's take a journey back 125 miles, and let's figure out how we get a young girl who doesn't have an example of finishing high school or college. How do we get to a PhD, and how do we get you here?
I always loved learning. I never remember a time when it wasn't incredibly important to me. And I couple that with parents who were incredibly supportive. My mom dropped out her sophomore year of high school and married my father, who had just graduated from high school.
If I remember from my notes, they were 18 and 15.
Correct.
Wow.
I know. Babies. We grew up together. I was an only child. I came around about 16 months after they decided to marry, and we always say we sort of grew up together. But yeah, I always loved learning, and it was always just a big part of the dynamic in my house, even though my parents never went to college or even graduated from high school.
Neither of them?
Neither of them.
So Mr. Jeff Walker spent a lot of time racing cars.
He did.
And were you around him as he's racing cars? He hasn't finished high school. He has a wife. He has a daughter. He's racing cars. Please give us a window into that world.
Well, he did finish high school. He did do that. He'll tell you by the skin of his teeth, but yes. And so we spent weekends traveling, and he raced late model stock cars, dirt tracks. I hid in the floorboard because kids weren't allowed in the pits, and so my parents would throw a blanket over me, and then I would crawl out and, run around. And I was fascinated with the jack. I would jack myself up and then, fall down and whatnot. And so, yeah, I grew up around just mud and red clay in your ears and in your nose. And so, yeah, it was fun. That's the life that I knew. That's all I've ever really known him to do and to love.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to find out what that life taught you. Because you're one of these people who you try to learn from everything, and you have a love of learning, and you've dedicated your life to learning. What did that life teach you? Let's take a break. When we come back, I'll let you answer that question. And another question I have for you is, did you ever race? So we'll get to that in just a moment.
Great.
This is Krissy. Wait till you hear the rest of her story. We're just getting started. This is Anything is Possible.
Possibility powered by Pilot Flying J, Covenant Health, Home Federal, and the Knoxville News Sentinel. Coming up.
I remember talking to my parents often saying, I don't know if this, I think maybe we've made a decision that we need to rethink. And my dad said something to me then that sticks with me now. He said, dig in.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited about your story. Welcome back to Anything is Possible. So you grow up hiding in the floorboards.
Yes.
I'm just sonically, I'm trying to imagine hiding in the floorboards and what you were hearing.
Yes.
Right?
The roaring of these dirt race cars and all these people that knew my dad and were so familiar with him. And as you can imagine, it's a rowdy crew. The older I got, the more I was like, I don't know that I necessarily want to go anymore. But in the early days, I was sort of mesmerized by it all.
So I asked you what you learned. First of all, did you ever race?
So I would do what's called pack the track, which means I would sit in my dad's lap and he would go slowly and just drive around, but never, no, it was not in my blood.
So he let you feel like you were driving?
Yes, so I'd turn the steering wheel and yeah.
Key. This is key.
It's fun.
So I want to read into your experience what you took from those dirt tracks. Mm-hmm. The energy of racing, competition, and winning.
Yes.
That energy. You got to set up the car so that you can win. You buy that?
Yes, without a doubt. Absolutely. There was a moment that my dad had every Saturday when he walked out onto the track and he would put the clay in his hand and I would walk beside him and I would watch him. I had no idea what he was doing. And years later I asked and he said, I had to know what tires and what shocks to put on. And it was just him sort of walking around and picking up the mud and sort of playing with it. Very hands-on. And so I think that is probably the lesson that I learned from him. I'm not really great at not jumping in with both feet and just figuring it out as I go. And I think what I learned from him is this whole idea that sometimes you have to slow down.
To go faster.
To go faster. That's exactly right.
So I'm still trying to figure out how you end up launching from an academic standpoint. Did you make a decision that you wanted to leave there, that you wanted more, that...
Yes, very early. Very early I was set my sights. I don't know that I set my sights as big as I could have at the time, and that's what I love talking to students about now. Like, the whole world is a possibility. But growing up in a small town for me was very limiting because you learn that you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. You know, there are about 5 professions that sort of float around, and so I did know that I wanted more than what McMinnville had to offer. It's a lovely place. I still have friends that live there. My parents are still there, and I love to go to visit, but I wanted more.
So, map more for me.
Yes, more for me meant, so I visited at a math competition, the University of the South Swanee, a small liberal arts school, and just fell in love with it. I always thought I would want to go to Vanderbilt. That was sort of this big idea. It was prestigious, it sounded good, and went there and just thought, this is too big, I think I would drown. But went to Swanee and it was such a great fit. I'll tell you, the first maybe 2 months there, I was miserable. Talk about fish out of water.
Don't they have the Order of the Robes?
Yeah, the Order of Gownsmen.
Yeah. And you hit the roof of your car to get the angels off.
That's right, the angel, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's amazing traditions, but the academic piece, I was very ill prepared for that. I was also ill prepared for just the emotional impact of being away from home, being around, to be honest with you, kids that weren't like me. I drove a Pontiac, they drove a Land Rover. It was a very interesting experience for me. And those first few weeks, I remember talking to my parents often saying, I don't know if this, I think maybe we've made a decision that we need to rethink. And my dad said something to me then that sticks with me now. He said, dig in, dig both heels in. I've never known you to give up on anything, dig in. And so that sort of, once I decided, you know what, I do belong here, I am college material, I can do this, completely changed the trajectory there. So it was a very life-altering, transformational period. It changed my life.
Swanee is one of the Southern Ivies, so you're jumping from McMinnville to, this is a world-class institution, has a great reputation, so you finish at Swanee, and then what was next? As we map more.
Sure, I took a year and a half off and tried to find a job that I was passionate about, and I disliked everything. And I think, to be honest with you, I had sort of a big head about what skill set I brought to the table in a way that the employers just didn't see how great I was. And so I never really had a job outside of like making snow cones in McMinnville over the summers. So I worked over the summer, but in a concession stand at the ball field. That's, you know, really all I could do. So I never had these great internships. I never really did those things. We didn't have a lot of money, so I came home over the summers and worked. And so for me, I finally one day, just on a whim, decided I'm gonna move to Knoxville and go to graduate school. I was really passionate about political science and studying those things, and just really fascinated with how local government works. And so jumped into a master's program, finished that quickly, and then moved straight into the PhD program. And while I was in the PhD program, I walked into Mike Ragsdale's office and said, I'm studying local government. Can I come and sit here for 3 days every week and just see how this all plays out? And what an experience that was. So that really was a defining moment for me, because that summer I was hired, and then I ran his re-election campaign, and so he really, for lack of a better phrase, brought me to the dance in terms of just taking a shot on a 24-year-old kid that said, like, hey, can I just sit here and watch? So it was fun.
But that still doesn't get you to where you are right now.
That's right.
This is kind of the path to, because more didn't turn out to be political science. However, in what you do, you have to fully understand the political implications of
That's right.
the work that you're doing.
I think the skill I gained at Swanee and in graduate school is just critical thinking. I mean, at the end of the day, like, how do you think critically? How do you analyze those sorts of things? I don't know that I necessarily bring the degree to the table anymore, but so while I was there, I took over workforce development initiatives, and I was also the mayor's speechwriter. And so he was giving these speeches about how Knox County, East Tennessee needed what we called a world-class workforce. And so for me, I knew that in Knox County specifically, a third of students graduating every year were not pursuing any type of post-secondary world-class workforce. You know that a third are exiting without any type of post-secondary credential or training that is so critical to meeting 21st century workforce demands. And so thus was born a program then called Knox Achieves. Knox Achieves was this idea of just eliminating all the barriers keeping students from entering the post-secondary pipeline. It was that simple. We'll give you a mentor, we'll provide you with the financial assistance. All we ask is that you give back 8 hours to your community. And so we had all these ideas up on a whiteboard in my office, and a gentleman named Randy Boyd walked in.
The great Randy Boyd.
The great Randy Boyd, and it completely changed everything. So this idea, you and I were talking about sprinting, this idea that had been on a whiteboard for about 3 months became a reality.
Remember what I told you before we went on the air, that I believe that possibility drives the universe, and it's the people of possibility that actually move the world forward. So for something to move from a whiteboard into the real world, that spark of possibility, that kind of nexus of people that believe that something is possible. So you know who you owe the greatest thanks to.
Absolutely. It was interesting.
So you know who you owe the second greatest thanks to.
Who's that?
Your dad.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I owe the greatest thanks to him, probably. Yes.
Because because critical thinking is really nothing more. That's what he was doing on the track. He was saying, how do we need to set up to make winning possible?
That's right. He has been such a driving force. He's such a person of faith. And he has these, we sort of, around my office, we call them Jeff Walkerisms. So he just has this very down-to-earth way of approaching life.
Okay, so I want to take a break. When we come back, I want to kind of source the DNA of possibility. You're in the possibility business. And I want your top 3 Jeff Walkerisms.
Okay, great.
When we come back, you're watching Anything is Possible.
Coming up,
When I went to Memphis and I walked into an inner city Memphis high school, just changes your perspective about what poverty can really look like and what hardship really is when you've never met your parents.
This week, our Home Federal Bank Community Spotlight is on the Salvation Army. Did you know that the Salvation Army has been transforming lives one at a time in Knoxville since 1899, and in the past year alone has served more than 30,000 people? To learn more, visit salvationarmy.org.
Welcome back to Anything is Possible. I love being around possibility people. This is Krissy DeAlejandro. Got it right.
Every time.
I want your top 3 Jeff Walkerisms. If you're just tuning in, Jeff Walker is her dad.
So if you're doing a reality check on something, he'll say, is a pig's butt pork? So that's a great one, I always think. So like, is this real or is it not real? And that's sort of his reality check. And then if you think someone is scheming you, he'll say, don't pee in my ear and tell me it's raining. So that's also a good one. And then a third one is not really a Jeff Walkerism in terms of like a philosophy, but every morning growing up, my mother was always gone for work, and he would get me up for school. And so we've lived our life in a racing analogy. So anytime I would come home with any sort of problem, or I call him today and say, I'm really struggling with what's going on, there's a racing analogy involved. But he would come in and he would pretend that he was a wrecker, and he would call it Nard's Big Wrecker, and he would make a noise. And this was when I was 17. And so he would sort of pull me out of bed, and we would go stand on the porch of our little house and say, thank you, Lord, for this day. And I do that with my kids now. So my kids, I don't do the wrecker part, but every morning we stand outside and say, thank you, Lord, for this day. And so I hope that that tradition carries on.
I actually love that. Tennessee Achieves. So you start with a handful of people, and now it's a statewide program pretty fast. So much so that the rest of the nation is looking at what we're doing here in Tennessee. Did you expect this kind of explosive growth?
Absolutely not, no. If you would have told me 7 years ago that we would be where we are, I think I would have thought you were crazy. But I think it's a lot of really hard work, a lot of digging in, a lot of not knowing how to quit, and persevering. And so I think that there's no rocket science to it. It's a very simple formula, and I think that's why it works.
Now, at the time of this taping, you have 2 children.
Yes.
I would say you have 2.8 children.
That's correct.
Right?
That's exactly what I have.
Right? What do you want for your children? You have a little boy inside of you. Speak to him about possibility. What do you see for him? What do you want for him? And are you going to Jeff Walker his life?
I hope so. I think, and my husband and I talk about this often, we bring to the table much more than my parents gave me in terms of materialistic. But if I can even bring half of what they brought in substance, I think my kids will turn out okay. But for me, I think the biggest piece of this is staying humble. I want my kids to stay humble and stay hungry at the same time. And I think that's a really difficult balance, to want something so badly and to work so hard for something. And then maybe when you hit that achievement level, it's a fine line of remaining humble and understanding that I guess I'm always the poor kid inside on some
Yeah.
level, that it could all go away.
You know, as I'm sitting here listening to you talk about your relationship with your father and your family, and the future and possibility and your children, I'm just sitting here thinking about how you will make sure that they have those things.
I think it's about helping them understand the world. Oliver, my 5-year-old, he has a very myopic view of the world right now. The kids that he's around, who he plays with, and so it's very important for me to expose him.
Widely.
He's got to be exposed, and we haven't quite done that yet. But I remember the first time I went to Memphis with this program. It was just this amazing experience for me, because I grew up in this very small town, and then I went to this very small college, and then UT was large. But when I went to Memphis and I walked into an inner city Memphis high school, it just changes your perspective about what poverty can really look like and what hardship really is when you've never met your parents. And so I feel incredibly blessed just to have supportive parents, because I think that I've really been exposed now to students or to kids who it's important that we provide them with the opportunity to transform their lives, because what they had
Right.
was almost nothing.
I'm glad that you found your calling.
Yes.
And I can't wait for your kids to grow up with their DeAlejandroisms. But I know they'll be great. Krissy, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see you next time on Anything is Possible.